Good evening, good afternoon from wherever you're tuning in. It's your sis. Welcome back to Tea and Tarot. I do not have tea today. I have coffee, but you know what I mean. It's the vibes. Whatever your drink is, go ahead and grab it, whether it's tea, coffee. I was going to actually pull a nice smoothie, but then I started smelling whiffs of fresh coffee brewed, and then I just decided to have some coffee. So whatever your vibe is, go ahead and grab your drinks. Grab your notebooks or your journal or just your presence, you being here, whatever it is that you need to get situated. I have my traditional deck, which it's not, I always call this the Rider-Waite deck, and it's actually not a Rider-Waite deck. I forget who made this deck, but it's similar to the Rider-Waite deck. Anyways, I have that deck. I have my Hip Hop Tarot deck. You already know. Major Arcana here. I have the Threads of Fate Oracle deck. And I also have the Moon deck, Oracle deck here as well. And then something I brought, which I'm not even sure if we're going to use today, is I brought this Witch's Wheel. If you all have been around with me for a while, doing tarot and, pulling, I believe that tarot is more of like a self-reflection, self-therapeutic tool than it is something that's going to tell you like yes or no, this is going to happen in your life with absolute certainty. I don't really believe that tarot deals with absolute certainty because life itself is ever evolving, ever changing. We have free will. And I also just think spiritually we're not meant to know certain things. So I've never really vibed too much with things that are yes or no. As you can see, this has like specific yes or no answers on it, but I figured I could bring it up on here and maybe we can test this out together and see what we think about it, because I thought I would use it more in my personal practice, but I don't personally use it at all, so I thought it could be a fun thing to add to the Tea and Tarot session today. So I do have this little addition friend here as well, and yeah, we're getting ready to vibe, getting ready to start pulling. As always, I want to just give updates and chat with you all and hang out with you all and just connect with you all this week. Let me know how your week's doing down below. What was the vibe this past week for you all? What were some if you feel called to and want to share, what's one thing that went really well this week and what's one thing that you're working towards or working on. For myself this week, man, I don't know why it feels like it's been so long since I've been on here with you all. I feel like with the weather changing and all of that, that might be part of it. But this week, one thing that went really well is that I got a lot of planning done with the spring, heat energy, the new season energy coming through. I got a lot of planning done. We finalized the flyer and all the show details for March 29th for the Celestial Eclipse Returns, which I'm real excited about. Our team is getting back together for our anniversary show, and it's going down at Streets Pub, London, here in Sacramento at 8 p.m. on March 29th, and it's actually the day of the solar eclipse on that day, March 29th. And the lunar eclipse, we're just entering the beginning of this eclipse season. And so come join us for all these eclipse vibes and to close it out and to celebrate with us, celebrate the season, the new year, the new springtime, right? It's also Soli Bull's birthday, and my birthday's the week before, so it's kind of like a low-key celebration of our birthdays too. And just, you know what it is if you come through to a show. So yeah, come out. We have a great lineup. It's myself, Soli Bull, E.G. the Beast, Hayla V, Nate and the G are coming all the way from the Bay Area, and Rashawn Bell, who is also based here in Sacramento. And we have a special guest host. I hear they're going to be a poet, so it's going to be fun, and I'm excited. I'm excited for this event coming up and to get to share the news with you. One thing I would say that I'm working on overall is maintaining energy, momentum towards certain things that I'm working towards, or just knowing where to put my energy for the day, since sometimes my energy can get zapped really quickly, and still really fine-tuning my schedule and all those things with all the other things going on in life. there's definitely, as I've mentioned before, this has been kind of a rough patch personally for me. A lot going on, a lot of transitions, things that I'm still trying to figure out and work through. So with that and the day that I have given, I feel like something I'm still working on throughout this week is, really knowing how to use the most of my energy and my focus, given that things can be kind of up and down. And being a full-time artist and creative, I'm super grateful for that, super blessed for that, but also at the same time, it's a huge hustle, and every day is, you never know what you're going to get, and having to create those schedules and those, that perimeter for yourself can be very difficult at times. And so, yeah, still feeling through all of that and working through all of that, but, showing up for it as honestly and transparently and as authentically as I can, and getting to share it here with you all has been something that has also brought me a sense of joy in some sort of way too. But yeah, that's it for the updates. Again, if you have an update, let me know down below. And if you're watching this on the playback, feel free to drop a comment. Let me know one thing this week that went really well and one thing that you're working on. I love being able to share in community, because I feel like when we do, like, we realize, I think I mentioned this on the last live, like how we're all kind of puzzle pieces in this cosmic universe and not as alone as we can feel. And so that's my intention for this space, is for you to be able to feel like you're part of that cosmic puzzle, because you are, and I'm grateful for you being here, no matter whether you're here on the live or whether you're here on the playback. But with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and dive in. I'm going to take some sip of my coffee. Oh, and I am going to put the information on here for my website and for my Cash App and stuff like that. As always, if you are feeling called to check out my music, or to share a donation, which no pressure, I just put it there in case you do feel called. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. And so my Cash App is Moo Magic Flows, and my website is moomagicflows.com, and that's where you can find everything, like show updates, flyers for that, my music, our Patreon, which shout out to the Patreon crew. I love our Patreon community, and been doing more videos and more updates on there, and more content that I can really share and dive deeper with them, which I love that about that community. So if you're interested in the Patreon, check that out as well. And my merch is on my website, all that good stuff. So alrighty, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So if you are driving, please don't close your eyes. But if you're not driving and you're comfortable where you're at, close your eyes, relax your shoulders, and we're going to go ahead and ground into this tarot reading today, this collective reading. You could put one hand over your heart, one hand over your gut area, and we're going to go ahead and inhale. Take a deep breath in through your nose, thanking your guides, my guides, and the divine for this space today. Deep breath out. Just starting with gratitude. Another deep breath in through your nose. Asking that these messages come in with clarity that make exact sense to where you are on your journey, wherever that is. Deep breath out. Last deep breath in. Just really asking that this time in this space be a sacred container, protected from outside energies, distractions, and, just really a clear channel where we can hear our intuition and connect deeper with ourselves, one another, and the collective. Deep breath out. And of course, the divine, and really see what those messages are that want to come through. All right, so I'm going to take another sip of the coffee. And usually when we have more folks on the live, I take time to pause and will actually ask the live audience what they get from each card. But today I'm just going to go ahead and do a regular kind of collective reading. And if you're watching this on the playback, and even for those who pop into the live as we go, I will still put the card up on the screen. And feel free, I would love for you all to share what you pick up intuitively from the card down below. Something I've been really doing a lot more of is this kind of community collective tarot pool. And I just feel like you get so much more out of the tarot reading because, one, it demystifies this idea that the tarot reader is this person who's above everybody else, who has some sort of access to spiritual knowledge and all this stuff that you don't, that you're not innately as spiritual and as, divine, which I just completely dislike that kind of pedestal that I feel like tarot readings can put on, the dynamic that can be played out. But also because of what I said prior, like I fundamentally believe we are puzzle pieces and are able to tap into that like cosmic, puzzle piece energy where someone else might drop something down below that you never know might be part of that puzzle piece that connects to something maybe I said, but takes it in a different place that I wouldn't have thought of. And I love the way that we can build on each other's collective intuition and vision that way. So feel free to drop that down in the comments down below on the playback or on the live as we go through the process. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I was going to do a major arcana, but I'm feeling called to do the regular tarot. And let's go ahead and see what comes out for the collective. So I'm just pulling overall energy. I may pull some support cards and then advice. I like to keep it pretty simple. Unless I'm doing like a specific reading for a tarot client or looking into something specific within my own life or within the collective. Because these messages can really be applied in any aspect of your life. So if anything resonates, the analogies or the energy coming through in your romantic life, in your financial life, in your career, in global politics, etc. Energy is energy, and the way that it manifests can happen in so many different ways, which is why I believe, you can't really put specifics on a lot of things in a tarot reading. It's more like a Rothschild test is always what I call it. So it's kind of like, you look at these ink dots and you're tapping into the subconscious, your own subconscious, or the subconscious of the energy that's around us, which 70% of our mind operates on subconscious behavior and thoughts and energy. So it's really interesting to see how these things come out of us, but also connect to what's going on in other people's lives and the collective at large. So always trust your own intuition and discernment first. Trust where the energy or that message resonates. And if it doesn't resonate in a specific area, don't try to force it to resonate. And if it doesn't resonate at all, then that might be what it is too. Sometimes just your own discernment and not trying to make a message fit can be a message within itself, and that's also very powerful and valid. And as always, trust your own intuition first. Tarot is something that I feel like is meant to empower us and not to make us feel like the power is somebody or something outside of us, but it's something that's within us that we're tapping into, a flow and this collaborative channel. And so with that being said, I just want to say that. And let's go ahead and get started and see what comes out for the collective. What energy, spirit, what do you want to speak about? Ooh. Yeah. Look at this. I'm not even going to talk about this Two of Swords really, because this Two of Swords has come out, I'm pretty sure the last 2 weeks that we did a tarot reading on here. Which I know we're also, not only are we in Venus retrograde, but I'm pretty sure we're going into Mercury retrograde soon as well. And like I said, we're in eclipse season, so there's a lot of this dealing with blockages coming up, the things that you have been. And I'm going to pause and let you all take some time real quick, to let me know, what do you get when you see this card? Because maybe this card has, if you've been on the lives or watched these on the playback the last 2 weeks, perhaps the Two of Swords right now is coming through in a different way for you, which is equally just as valid. That's why it's important, to know the descriptions and to, to have the descriptions in the back of your mind to anchor you and to use as support. But you don't want to heavily rely on just the descriptions, because sometimes cards speak to you in different ways. And I think that's really important part of the tarot and strengthening our intuition. So maybe right now this card is speaking to you a little bit different than it did last week or the week before. What is the message that you're feeling with this card immediately when you see it? What are some of the things that stick out to you, and what's coming up for you? And for me this week, and what I immediately came up off the bat was blockages. So definitely let me know down below what's coming up for you, but I'm going to continue forward since no one in the live is sharing. And so if you do share on the playback, that would be dope to add to our conversation collectively here. But aside from that, I'm going to keep channeling, okay? So yeah, like I was saying, blockages, the sense of indecisiveness, the sense of feeling blindfolded, the sense of feeling like you don't know where you're going, you don't know how to proceed in some sort of area of your life, some sort of obstacle, that there's a lot of roundabout, like the same conclusion in the same place that keeps you in the same place. There's this energy of whatever that is that's being called to our attention right now during this eclipse season, during the retrogrades, to be at the forefront of how this thing is, in essence, still, I don't want to say like preventing us from anything, but I feel like the point of it being shown to us in this new way during this time period is so that we can ultimately learn to let go of this thing, ultimately learn how to surpass through this blockage in whatever way that is for your highest good and is for the highest good of the situation as a whole. So those are the themes and things that I feel are coming up with this card. There are two other cards that came up, so I am gonna pull them up. So I feel like these blockages and this situation with the Empress coming up and the Eight of Swords deals directly with what is blocking your creativity, blocking you being seated in your power, blocking you being able to create something like fertile grounds, whatever is preventing you from having fertile grounds, fertile inspiration, the ability to move forward and grow like a plant, you know what I mean? Anything that has you bound up. Eight of Swords, go ahead and take a look at this card. Let me know what you pick up intuitively down below from this card. But when I see this card, I always think about being bound up mentally and emotionally a lot of times too. Even though the Swords is a more mental card, it's also a card, Eight of Swords is typically about how the mental and emotional entrapment of our mind can just like spill over and cause us to feel imprisoned by basically our own self, our own mind, our own thoughts, our own self-sabotage in a lot of ways, or ways in which we disempower ourselves in situations that we actually do have the power to change and do something, but we're comfortable, or we don't want to change this aspect of something or let go of this, or because change is hard and change can be scary and change can be a grief within itself, and things that we have to let go and things that we have to honor and allow to no longer exist, right? There's a lot of closing of a chapter when you let go of things, right? So it's not as easy said as done, but the reality is, the truth is that you have the power, right? And a lot of times we don't always see the power that we have, and that is coming up in this situation now with the Two of Swords. I feel like this is very much deeply connected to that, the things that you do have power in, but you don't actually feel like you have power in. And maybe for a long time you have been struggling with feeling like you can take this step, or feeling like you can create this space, or feeling like you can take this to the next level, because you feel like you do not have the actual power to do so. And I feel like this here is actually a message within itself, reminding you that you do have the power to do so, regardless of how hard and difficult it may be. Something that's been like such a saying for me lately, I heard Doechii say it in an interview, and you all know, if you've been here for a minute, you all know I be talking about Doechii all the time. But what she said in the interview was, I can do hard things. And that's definitely been like my mantra lately, is I can do hard things. And the card that came up for me yesterday, actually on my daily pool, was the card of destruction here. in the Oracle deck. And that card is very much about, you know, letting go of things that are holding us back, very much about eclipse season energy, and also about giving ourselves the patience and compassion and kindness through the process. And so that similar kind of energy I see showing up in this with the Empress card, like it being deeply connected to what we're creating, what we're birthing, the fertility, the newness, the freshness, something that is joyful and abundant and you know, nurturing, really. What is nurturing for our souls, for our vitality. It keeps coming up, vitality. So whatever situation this is, whether it is a job that might be, you know, creating this in your life, whether it's a person, a specific person, a relationship, a friendship, a family, a person in your family, whether it's something within yourself, the way you view yourself, the way your own thought process, your own, you know, self-belief, or whether it's about perhaps something that you're birthing and working on, a project. There's many different ways that this could manifest and show, but there is this energy of newness and freshness and something different, something beautiful and vibrant and sustaining in a way that maybe you haven't had before. And that is what is ushering in during this time period and coming through beyond these blockages and beyond these parts that have you feel trapped. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some advice for that and see what comes through. And then definitely pull some oracle cards as well. And I don't know if we're going to use this witch's wheel today. We'll see. Kind of find some. So basically it spins. And then I think you're supposed to put your finger down on it. Like this says, yes. It said, yes, that's how you use me, girl. Yes. Anyways. All right, so let's go ahead and pull advice. So with this energy, right, and knowing that it's creating a more nourished, more nurtured, more creative, more vital, vibrant version of ourselves. Someone who's more embodied is also what I'm hearing. This is the energy, right? Someone who's more seated in their power. And this is what this eclipse season, these hurdles, blockages, mentally or emotionally might be showing. Because I always say emotionally with the swords card because a lot of times there's water in the background. I don't know if you noticed that. This is definitely water, but it's hard to see. With this one, you could definitely see the water. Anyways. All right, so let's go ahead and pull for advice. What advice, Spirit, do you have when we are working with this energy? Ooh. Sure. 2 cards sounds good. The Devil card. What about the Devil card? And the Star card reverse. Whoa, this is some trifling energy. Okay, let me get one more card. As I get one more card, you can let me know. What do you see here with the Devil? What does this card make you think of? Let me know down below. Little support card. Strength. Yeah. And then one more card. One more. Just, oh, okay. Yeah. All right. And then the Star card, I'll put it upright, but it is reversed. Let me know what you think of when you see this card down below. And then we have the Strength card. And we have the 9 of Swords. And we have the Queen of Rods. So with these 2 cards, immediately what I heard was the feeling of having a loss of hope of that which has us codependent, that which has us addicted. But it doesn't have to be addictions like we think of, like drugs or alcohol, although for some people maybe that is what you are seeing as your blockage. It could actually be a legit dependency like that, but it also could just be addiction to things like self-sabotaging behavior, an addiction to our own suffering, an addiction to a behavior that you are participating in that you know is not for your highest good, addiction to a person that you know is not good for you, addiction to a going to a place that you ultimately are like, man, why do I hang out with these people or go to this place when I know that this isn't actually good for me or what I'm working towards, right? There's a loss of hope of that. And that is the advice, which is why I was like, that's a very interesting message. But seeing that as advice, right? Because the Star card reverse for me always represents the feeling of not having any hope or having tried to have hope for this thing time and time and time again. This whatever that is, whatever represents this devil energy in your life, right? You having hope for it, having hope that maybe things could change, having hope that things could be different, having hope that it could heal, having hope that it would, be liberated, etc., 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 right? And the strength card being here, right, of having to have incredible amounts of strength to allow yourself to almost lose hope in this situation for now and for the time being. And why is that important? Because the Nine of Swords is here, because this is what this situation has you feeling. And now let's take it into addiction of something or someone. I don't say lose hope in it changing and just allow yourself to be in the addiction. I would see this more as like trying to detach or remove yourself away from that thing as much as possible. So maybe not going to bars if you know alcohol is something that you're struggling with, and knowing that you need to take a break from it. Or this could be not being around that person who you know is that devil card energy to you. And, going for doing what you need to do to create extra space between you and that person or you and that thing. Maybe that's creating, taking more days off at your job that you know is that devil energy for you right now. So you can use those days off to plan your next chapter, to strategically figure out what you're going to do next, or take care of yourself, self-care, you know what I mean? And the Queen of Rods is here. It's like, there is this again, there's a lot of attack on your creativity. There's a lot of attack, and I don't want to say attack like that's what's being attacked, but I feel like these things, these blockages, these obstacles are trying to attack your creativity, your sense of vibrancy, your sense of vitality, and the way that the energy and everything's moving around you is to reawaken that and create a pathway for you for that allows you to feel empowered and own your sense of creativity, own your sense of vitality, own your fire goddess, whatever your gender is, your fire goddess energy within you. This vibrant, fertile ability to create tricks, to reimagine, to change, to redefine, to take to new places, to take to new heights, to create something new where it's once was dead and abandoned. This is the energy that's coming through right now. And I feel like there's a big focus on that, and how letting something go and losing hope for that thing for now will allow you to put your focus and energy on this thing instead. Yeah. But it's going to take a lot of strength. And that's the part that I think can be the most played out. We hear it all the time. I got to be strong. Well, I've been strong. What do I do when I've been strong? But each of these wounds, so to speak, on that we survive create scars and create armor for us. And is it fair? Not necessarily, but life is not fair, Is it, I feel like sometimes Spirit teaches us in tough lessons, and it's hard to see how things are working out for us. And so I think taking this time period to focus less on this, or, reflect on it, but not sitting in the sadness of it, but instead seeing what is it trying to open up for you, what is it trying to lead you to, really trusting how God is directing your life right now, I think will be super important. to the collective and to this ushering of something new that wants to come into our lives at this time period, and the letting go of the things that are continuing to create nothing but chaos, stress, mental drain and exhaustion, and blockages, and this eclipse and retrograde season really asking us to be able to grieve, honor, and release. So these are the messages that are coming through. Let me ask my little wheel, is there anything else Spirit wants to say about that? Divine timing. Yeah, trust the divine timing of your life. Because that within self can be so difficult. You know, wanting to rush, wanting to figure it out already, wanting to just get this blockage thing out of the way. I'm always working on this thing, you know? If you feel any of that, then I feel like this message of divine timing might be really important for you to lean into. There's a little booklet for this, so I'm going to go ahead and read what the little booklet says. It says, this is a call to trust in divine timing. Events will unfold in the perfect way at the perfect time for your highest good. If something is meant to be, trying to alter the natural unfolding of it will only disrupt its flow. Yeah, it's going back to this feeling. If there's something that you're leaning into that is this energy because of you're trying to force anything, it's only going to delay things longer. Or if you're not looking at this because whatever it is, right? It's hard to put on our big boy, big girl pants and really look at the things that are, toxic in our life. But it's only going to delay things further, and it will continue to show up time and time again. I feel like that's showing up, and then just trusting like the timing of like, you're not meant to have it all figured out right now. And it's okay that it's taking time, and it's okay that you may have to go through this cycle time and time and time and time again until you're ready to release this thing or to move on to get past this blockage, whatever that is. And that's okay. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it takes many, many years. And that's part of our process. And there's something beautiful, a part of that creation process. You know, I'm sure every creative person could probably tell you about how the process of creating takes time. And even when you want to force creation, it's very difficult to... Oop, that one just dropped off the table. Focus to force something that isn't ready to be born or created. And so trust that within your life, whatever is being born or created. Don't try to force it. Just open space for it. And pay really close attention to what's going on in this time period, and be super gentle with yourself and with the people around you. Make the necessary space that you need. I'm going to go ahead and pull some oracle cards and see what else comes out. And then we'll probably close it out here. Let me know how this message resonated. If you're watching on the playback, drop a comment down below. But let's go ahead and pull an oracle card and see what comes out. Reclaim. Okay. Which I already immediately, with this card, it's always been about, for me, reclaiming our power. That goes back to the Empress and the Queen of Wands energy. There's something within this time period and the things that are causing mental strain and drain and, cycles over and over again that take away from our essence, from our true power, that I feel like is being reclaimed in this moment. The invitation to reclaim is yours in this moment. And I feel like that's what's coming through with this card right here. What else? Let's see what the moon deck has to, oh my goodness, say. Just fell everywhere. Collaboration brings more sweetness in my life and into the world. Yes, that's given that, like I said, creating space and focusing on creation within itself, right? So maybe, creating space from certain people and certain things, and taking yourself and your energy elsewhere to places that are more collaborative and aligned with your mission, that could be, taking space away from a certain job and putting it in place spaces that are more collaborative, that have more energy, that's aligned with what your goals are and what you're creating. It could be a specific person in your life and taking the space away from that and collaborating with different energies. It could also just be collaboration in general. If you've been isolating, or which I am the biggest guilty person of self-isolation, it is also just in general, I feel like a nod to get out of the house, you know what I mean? The bees are buzzing, it is springtime, to go enjoy some collaboration and connecting with others, and just the beauty that can happen when we focus on putting our creative energy together and focus on what we're creating in life, rather than just focusing on the things that are draining us mentally, that aren't working out, and allowing that ick to, you know, it's part of life, but so is the beautiful part, right? So is this collaboration and creation. But sometimes we can get so hyper-focused on what's going on mentally, emotionally, that's not, you know, for us or serving us, the turmoil, that we're not able to create and find joy and collaborate in spaces that are working for us. So I feel like this is kind of that nod to do those things as well. So I'm going to go ahead and read this card, Reclaim, and see what comes through. And also trust if there's any kind of specific message, as always, that comes through when you hear the words like reclaim or collaboration. What does that mean to you? That's equally as important to any of these other messages coming through. So reclaim, it says you were born as a perfectly imperfect human with gifts, talents, medicine, wisdom, and knowing. Growing up in a culture that does not nurture these gifts creates misalignment with our highest truth. Reclamation can be a lifetime process, as it continually awakens us to ancient medicine we knew in other lifetimes and soul wisdom. While there is no rule book or map for this journey, this card calls your attention to what stirs deep inside your soul memory. We are often drawn to people, places, experiences, music, etc. that we know on a cellular level, but our logical mind may not understand why. This card asks you to follow your intuition, trust that desire, and follow it. Reclaim your knowing, your power, your medicine, and your healing. Enjoy the mystery and stories unfolding. Yes, I love that one. And let me go ahead and read this card from the Moon deck. Let's see. And I love that there's little bees on here. If that means anything to you as well, definitely pay attention to that. Collaboration. Collaboration brings vision to life and teaches us how to work with others to reach a common goal. We can pollinate the world with more beauty and abundance while learning skills of focus, cooperation, productivity, fellowship, and alchemy. The sacred bee is an impressive collaborator and brings vital nourishment into our lives. Bees work hard with incredible focus and cannot survive without their hive. Yeah, as I was saying that, I just wanted to stop real quick, because the part about bringing vital nourishment into our lives and collaborating, I feel like that connects again to that Devil card and the Star card reversed, and just that energy there of the Nine of Swords and the Queen of Rods, of like recognizing the things that are not bringing vital nourishment into our lives so that we can collaborate with the things that are bringing vital nourishment into our lives. They symbolize how the alchemic result of working together is a powerful process that transmutes something ordinary into something extraordinary. Collaboration is a supportive and necessary energy for you to connect with right now. It will open up new pathways and help you accomplish what may otherwise seem impossible, while fostering more joy in the creative process. Open up, reach out, and create something sweet and magical with others. Yeah, and I also love that, because if you are in a space where it's been difficult to, break away from that devil energy, being able to collaborate and put yourself in that space and of aligning with others that are more aligned and create vital nourishment in your life can really help to open us up in our creative process, bring joy, and help us to see pathways to things that we didn't know existed before. And that's one of the most beautiful things about collaboration, is it helps us sometimes getting unstuck in areas that we feel stuck, because like it goes all the way back to what I said at the beginning of the message, is that, you know, we're all these puzzle pieces, you know, that fit into this big giant puzzle. And sometimes when we collaborate, a lot of times when we collaborate with others, it's like you get to see the way that the puzzle pieces all fit together. So yeah, that's the message coming through. I want to thank everybody who came through on the live. I want to thank your guides, my guides, and the divine for this space today. If you missed the message and want to watch it back on the playback, it will be on my main page. But yeah, aside from that, that's pretty much it. If you want to get a direct one-on-one message and reading with me, then come join me on my Etsy, which is also at my website, www.moomagicflows.com, or you can DM me. But aside from that, as always, take care of yourself, be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself, give yourself a hug. And I will see you all next time. Or and for all my Sacramento, I would say and, not or. And for all of my Sacramento peoples, I will see you all March 29th at the Celestial Eclipse Returns Show with Sac 916, Solely Bull, and many more dope artists. See you all later.